Hello, me and Floyd welcome you. Floyd's quite surprised at how far we've got into the book, and apparently he wants to stay to see how chapter 22, Cracking the Code, goes. You ready to read the story today, Floyd? Here we go. William yanked hard on the fairy lights, and the Christmasaurus came to a halt. They had stopped at the entrance to a magnificent building with columns that extended from the snowy pavement to the sky above, and an enormous archway overhead that was covered with intricate carvings of angels, animals, plants and people. The museum. The Christmasaurus thought it looked so wonderful that it would feel right at home in the North Pole. Pretty cool, right? William said. One problem though, we're not exactly visiting during opening hours. William pointed to the enormously grand doors that were obviously locked shut behind a large sign that said, "Closed until New Year." The Christmasaurus sighed and dipped his head in disappointment. "Not to worry though," William said with a mischievous grin. "I know a secret way inside." He pointed towards a small, shadowy archway that overhung a black, metallic-looking door, barely visible from the road. The Christmasaurus tilted his head and his tail started wagging like an excited puppy. He'd never felt so excited before. He thought he'd never get to see other dinosaurs. He ran over towards the secret door in the shadows, dragging William's chair behind him, but he was suddenly stopped short. "Oh, stairs!" The small secret door sat at the top of a large icy flight of stairs. He may not have been the smartest dinosaur, but he knew that there was no way William's chair would make it up a flight of stairs. "In the daytime I use the wheelchair ramp," William said, "but that only goes to the main entrance, not this door." William hadn't thought about this. Maybe they wouldn't be going to the museum tonight after all. But the Christmasaurus wasn't going to let a few measly steps get in the way of him meeting other dinosaurs. He turned to William, lay down on the ground next to his wheelchair and let out a little grunt. William knew exactly what the dinosaur was saying. Get on. William didn't need any encouragement. He scrambled excitedly out of his chair, using all his strength to heave his legs over the dinosaur's back, and with a little nudge here and there, the Christmasaurus, he was finally sitting on top of his smooth, scaly back. He untangled most of the fairy lights from the dinosaur's neck until they were detached from the wheelchair. "This is so much better," said William as the Christmasaurus stood and headed up the stairs towards the secret school. "Oh, I wish I could ride you to school." When they reached the top of the steps and arrived at the shadowy door, the Christmasaurus gave it a nudge, but it was locked. "We need to type in the security code," said William, pointing to a small security box next to the door covered in numbers and flashing lights. The Christmasaurus had never seen such a weird contraption before. They had no security boxes or codes in the North Pole. It was protected by magic. "Luckily, I just happen to know how to work out the code," William said proudly. "It's quite simple, really. I've seen it in a movie. It's so cold out tonight that the little number box is almost completely frozen, see?" William pointed at the little box. "All the numbered buttons are covered in frost, all except for 3 of them." The Christmasaurus sniffed and studied the frosty numbered box, but it looked awfully confusing to his dino brain. You see, these 3 numbers don't have ice on them because these 3 have been pressed lots and lots today. So the ice has melted from them, William explained, which means the security code must use these 3 numbers. The Christmasaurus looked closely and he could see that William was right. All the buttons were frosted over except for the 3 of them. So all we need to do is work out the correct order of these 3 numbers, William exclaimed. Let's see, the unfrozen numbers are 1, 2 and 4. I guess we should start at the beginning. He reached out his hand, which was now shaking with cold, as he was only wearing his dinosaur PJs and a thin dressing gown, and he pressed the number 1. Bleep. A little red light flashed. Oh, darn it. A red light means wrong, William told the Christmasaurus. Okay, so we know it doesn't start with the number 1. He reached out his freezing finger and pressed the number 2. Bleep, bleep. This time a little green light flashed. Yes! That means it was the right number. So the code starts with the number 2. William's insides were all fluttery with excitement. He reached out again and pressed the next number. Okay, number 4. Bleep! Oh, but another red light flashed. Incorrect. William thought to himself, then started the code from the beginning with number 2. Bleep, bleep. Yes, green light. There was only one other unfrosted button, number 1. Oh, it had to be correct. He reached out and pushed it and waited for the green light, but bleep, red light, incorrect. He slumped down heavily on the dinosaur's shoulders. It all looked so hopeless all of a sudden. Oh, I'm sorry, William said. I don't think I can work out the code. It's useless. Oh, what a rotten way to spend Christmas Eve. In the distance, a loud clong echoed through the streets. It came from the clock tower as it chimed 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, well, I was wrong. It's not Christmas Eve anymore. It's Christmas Day. Oh, what a rotten way to start Christmas Day. Wait, just a second. William had a thought. Yesterday was Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. 2 and 4 are 2 of the unfrozen numbers in the code, but that was yesterday. William's brain was ticking faster than the clock tower, and it suddenly ticked up an idea. What if, he wondered, leaning in for one last crack at the code. What if the security code is today's date? He quickly punched in the first number of the date. 2. Bleep, bleep. The little green light twinkled, which means that at midnight the code changed, making one of these unfrozen numbers wrong. He reached out and pushed a new number, the frosted number 5. Bleep, bleep. The green light twinkled again. Maybe William was right. With a shaky finger, he punched in the next number. 1. Bleep, bleep. Yes, the twinkly green light lit up William's excited face as he pushed the final number. 2. Bleep, bleep, bleep. The lock flicked open. It worked, cried William. 2512, the 25th of the 12th, today's date. Merry Christmas! He punched the air in victory as the Christmasaurus nudged the door open with his nose, and they stepped inside the museum. How exciting. Come in next time and we'll find out what happens.